believe that is a zebra on the ice, Bill.
How did he get on the ice?
That's amazing.
They still can't get him off the ice. This is crazy.
Here comes all the zebras. It's a zoo out there.
You can't do that. Doesn't matter. Get in the box.
Welcome everyone to Chirping Zebras. Maybe we'll all embrace the zebra side.
Welcome, everyone, to Chirping Zebras, episode 93, Doug Gilmore episode, along with the Merry Christmas episode. Mark Riley, virtually alongside Gino Binda Jr. and Josh Dolan. And we are happy to welcome you guys for the Christmas special and also look back at the year we've had. So before we get into all that, I want to thank our sponsors, the Referees Crease. One-stop shop for all your refereeing needs, whether it's scheduling, payment, training. They do it all. Also want to thank Damon Financial Services. For over 24 years, Damon Financials has helped families and business owners grow and protect their wealth with clear, trusted strategies. From retirement planning and investments to tax-efficient solutions, they deliver no-nonsense advice focused on your goals. You can call 508-321-2101 today to schedule your meeting with Damon Financial or visit them at damonfinancial.com. Also want to thank our sponsor, Townsend Hockey, Graham Townsend. And Townsend Hockey, you'll hear more about them in a little bit. Also want to throw a shout out to AOA Studios. We'll be back there soon, and a great studio up in Beverly. Want to remind you to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on all the social medias, the Facebook, the Instagram, and of course,
TikTok.
Excellent. Thank you, Gino. And we had quite a year. And last week, if you haven't watched last week's episode, Bruce Cassidy, the coach of the Vegas Golden Knights, he was awesome.
Yeah, no, he was great. It still confuses me why the Bruins let him go when they did, but he seems to not care anymore. He won a cup.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought the coolest part was, Gino, you had him in the American League. I had him in the East Coast League.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool, reminiscing about those years.
Yeah, he was great to deal with. Very fiery. Like he wasn't, never held back. And you knew what you were getting with him. Always respected us, and his teams were always good. My favorite part of that whole thing was that we got to tell him the Kevin Miller story that you told Kevin Miller. And
oh, right.
It was like, that was way better. I don't even remember when we had Miller on, like in the spring. And then I was like, wow, geez, now we're getting both sides of all these things.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Kevin Miller, episode, I got them all written down that we've had on this year. He was episode 50.
50.
So, yeah, he was at close to the early part of this year, 2025. Kevin was awesome.
And that episode is how that whole Montana trip kind of came about.
That's right. We set up the Montana trip to go out and do the face-off for Heroes and go to a barbecue at his house. Next summer, or whenever that trip is again, the face-off for Heroes, Gino, you're going to have to come because I had to referee all those games alone. So I need you there.
I highly doubt it with my schedule.
No, it'll be in the summer, I think. So you'll be all right.
No, it's October. October in Tampa.
Oh, yeah, it's October.
In October, I can do in the summer. Well, maybe
right,
October. I don't know. It's hockey season, so.
No,
but I got 2 trips playing with Dylan. So.
Where are you going this year?
Minnesota and Vegas.
Ooh.
June and July.
Vegas in July?
It's in Vegas. The Roses series. So she made the Junior Bruins again, and so we're going out there for 2 tournaments. Yeah, Minnesota, I think, is July, and then Minnesota's June, July's Vegas.
Where in Minnesota?
There's only a couple places in Minnesota. Yeah, I forget where it is, but it's not too far from the cities, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Vegas, it'll be a little warm out there, but
yeah, I think I'm going to sit that one out. I think my wife probably will go for that one.
You're going to
I went to Utah last year, so she'll probably go to this one.
Okay.
And we'll all go to Minnesota, right?
All right. you might be able to teleport with how you're looking today on the screen. You just you look like you're in another dimension.
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
got
I
that
am.
Marty McFly fade going.
Yeah, I love it. So I know it's our Christmas special. You wouldn't really know it, but I did wear my Christmas Boston sports T-shirt. Basically, all it is all the logos with a hat on it.
Yeah,
you go.
thanks for decorating. I'm the only one. I feel like the only kid that showed up with crazy hair to Crazy Hair Day.
Where'd you get that, at the airport?
This Marshalls. This is a Marshalls special. That's what this was.
That was
I might have-
$12.99.
I might have worn it
If you
last
waited
year.
next week, you can get it for $6.
Probably. Yeah, no, I didn't even get my divorced dad Christmas tree this year. I've been so busy, and now at this point, I'm not getting a tree for a week. You know
Tom
what I
Reed
mean?
selling them?
Well, you know what? I wanted to go in business with him because the divorced dad Christmas tree was my idea, and I said maybe we could partner up. You could buy a tree and get a thing of protein or something with it. And so shout out to Tom Reed
There you
and
go.
divorced dad fitness. Christmas. I don't really do much today. Or Christmas. This is dropping on Christmas, so you're listening to it on Christmas. I just go with my sisters. What do you guys do? I know, well, you have the young kids. My kids
Yeah,
are
so
all
we like to
grown,
stay
so-
home. Yeah, we like
Yeah.
to stay home. This year we might go to my wife's cousin's house in Marshfield later in the afternoon. So a little different, a little change up, but yeah, we just hang out, take a day.
Yeah, no, Christmas over here is kind of, I mean, I do got my 4-year-old daughter, but I mean, other than that, so I'm doing Christmas with her a few days earlier because she's with her fucking mom on Christmas Day.
This is going public. You realize that?
Yeah, no, what did I say wrong? She's her
We're
mom.
5 minutes. Are we?
Yeah, well, no, we're in the clear.
All right. That's awesome.
So she'll be, she'll be with her. And, but yeah, no, Christmas used to be insane because like we would go to my grandfather's and Laura's grandfather, and then it was just all kinds of traveling and then just a lot of, I don't know. I don't really do anything anymore. I don't really communicate with much of my extended family. So it's kind of nice now. I like it. It's quiet and nobody really hassles me.
I remember Christmas being nuts back in the day, and it was fun. I remember one night I was putting together a Thomas the Tank Engine set on, the Thomas the Tank Engine tables they used to have.
Yes. Yeah.
So I had 2 full sets, a mountain set and like I don't know, where all the trains park or whatever. And I was trying to make it both fit on this table that's made for one, right? And I remember using the hot glue gun to glue the track down. And this was back when I was drinking. So I was 5 sheets to the wind. I woke up with more frickin' burns on my hand from that frickin' hot glue. But I got it done. I did get it done, but I was hammered.
Yeah. Well, like you, I don't drink anymore. I just used a hot glue gun like 2 days ago. That shit only gets on you. Like you're supposed to get burned by that. I don't think there's a clean way to use it, but
no. Gino, you're a big arts and crafts guy, aren't you?
Well, my daughter is, yeah. She does all the hot gluing. She has like her little tinker table out on the porch. Oh,
Nice.
she'll glue anything.
It's awesome. Well, we hope everyone has a good day. Good Christmas.
Yes.
well,
holiday.
mostly everyone.
We spread positivity here. We want everyone to
Yes,
have
we do.
a nice Christmas. So we hope everyone, who's watching, we hope you had a good day or have a good day or whenever you're watching. So we have a couple things. Gino, that video that we put out of your daughter getting sprayed
Yep.
blew up. Over
It did.
10,000 views on the Insta.
Yeah, we play him. We would when this is dropped, we play him this weekend. So this will, see what happens.
We might have another video to post.
Yeah, it's like, who knows? No, it's a U10 squirt girls game. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But I just found it fascinating that that a 10-year-old actually went out and did that maliciously. And is what it is. It's hockey, and what are you gonna do?
Well, joke's on her. Santa Claus just watches this podcast and she's not getting it.
Yeah, right.
That could be it. Volunteered to referee the game, but We were
Yeah, no,
worried about.
I think the fix would be in after that, right? How
I'm
would
not-
that look?
You know, I have integrity. I have integrity.
We'll get Sorella on and we'll ask him.
Hey, the coach's re-education program with Luke Galvin,
Yeah.
former guest. We yeah, we you
We
know,
actually should get Sorella on. We should get Sorella and Luke on together.
that would be delicious. That would be delicious. That was a game, Josh, that Luke and I called, I think, 28 penalties on one team and 3 on the other. But they were all there. We didn't make anything up. We did not make anything up. I stand by that. You can watch the video.
The
And-
hands were
and-
tied.
You know, outside of the finals, every time if you know, it doesn't go their way, they're a big pain in the ass, right? But
Yeah.
rightfully so, right? They're gonna fight for their team, fight for their guys, right? And I'll tell you, Chris has been really, really good to deal with since, you know, we've had a lot of good talks. He understands where I'm coming from, what I'm trying to do and develop and this and that. And then, you know, you got some new guys in the league that come in and they just don't understand what development is. Like you're a junior league. It doesn't matter where you are in the country, you're a development league. The USHL on down, they're development officials as much as players are. And, you know, if you're in it for the W and whatever, and you know, we weed people in and out constantly, right? No different than what the players are doing, or what these teams are doing with the players. They're constantly replenishing their pool. They're trying to fill their team. We're trying to fill our games for officials. And the only way to do that is someone has to do their first game sometime. So, you know, we put guys in, some hit, some don't, and we do it at the college level. You give a lot of people, you know, a chance, and some stick, some don't. Some go back down, do D3, get a little bit more development. When you're ready, you come up. But it's funny how when you get a perspective on referee and what we're really about, and what we're trying to do, we're not in there just to shit the bed or not call things. We're all learning and trying to get better, and no different than what the players are. And then you watch the games, and the kids are running amok. They're, high hits, slashing, fighting, whistles, right? Like cheap shots behind the play. And then you expect like a 19-year-old kid in his first game lining to pick that off and, know what to do with it. But that's why you put a veteran out there, or you coach them up and you get leadership and that kind of stuff. We're on top of it. It's like, every incident, everything, we talk to all the referees after all the games for the most part, and it's a lot.
I think the coaches need to realize too that, like you just said, they're developing players, you're developing refs, and it's really no different. I think and I will say, we joke about that game a few years back, the coaches re-education program, but Chris is a great guy. I really
he's
like
awesome.
Chris.
One of the best.
And on the bench, he's no different than I was on the bench. I was fiery. I ripped it up, but I think sometimes all of us coaches need to have that game where we get reminded, sometimes you got to back off. And so yeah, I can't get over. I keep laughing because you look like Homer Simpson in the bushes. You keep, when you back up, you disappear. It's
I have
hilarious.
the flu right now, and I just I don't even want to move. I'm just sinking into the chair. Yeah,
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
just hoping we carry the episode so he can just be in pain. I
Well,
hate that feeling.
I'm glad we're virtual so that you can give it to the zebras behind you and not
Right.
us, right?
Socially
No, and,
distanced.
And the other thing too, right, about the development piece of this, and I tried, I think this is where Chris kind of got it. I'm like, hey, Chris, I go, that kid's 18, 19 years old. I go, no different than your 19, 18-year-old kid. I go, how many stupid shit does he do on a daily basis? And you want to fucking backhand him, but you can't. And, you lay the law down and you threaten him, you bench him, you skate him, you do whatever, right? And I had a kid that he complained about constantly, right? They went back and forth. And I'm like, listen, I go, he's no different than your fucking player. I was like, and he kind of got that, right? And right now the kid's full-time in the USHL, right?
Awesome.
So he's out there working full-time, so it's we are developing these kids. It's not like we're just whatever, it drives me nuts, the persona too, from other avenues and other aspects of hockey, the hockey universe. and how they portray us and look at us, referee's crease. And it kind of bothers me a little bit because, I just think, I don't know, we're in it just for the kids to help them develop and get better. And, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I can say with 100% confidence that, and being a part of Ref's Crease, and working with you and your dad, it's all about making everyone better, and sometimes that takes a little longer with certain people than others, but it's a process. And I think with the world we live in, everyone wants everything right away. Everyone wants everything, done right away. And that's just not the case. I mean, whether you're coaching, playing, reffing, doesn't matter. Every day is and every game's a learning a process. And we love the fact that Refs Crease is one of our sponsors. They've been with us since the beginning. Anyone who gives shit, send them our way. We'll have the Zebras. Well, the Zebras will beat the fuck out of them.
We'll come see them in a different way.
Right? So one thing we haven't had a chance to talk about is the Shoresy game. A Bruins alumni played the Shoresy, cast of Shoresy, and I was fortunate enough to be on the ice with one of our former guests. I believe he was episode 55, the Kerry Fraser, the legend, Kerry Fraser.
Actually, all three of them were guests.
Yeah, all three. Dougie Smith was out there, and so was Don Garcia. All three of them guests here on the Zebras, and it was a lot of fun. Frank Simonetti told me that the vote came in and Fraser's hair beat mine, which I call bullshit. I want to recount, but
I could see some hairs out of place in Kerry Fraser's. He came out there, it looked like his spray game was off, and one of the and I was doing the play-by-play for the game, and one of the first things I noticed, you came out to the warm-ups, no bucket on, and not a hair moved, and you were zipping around the garden ice. I was like, your kid's hair is on point. You thought about this?
How about Kerry went bucketless the whole game, and so did Terry Ryan.
And
They
I saw
both
in the
played
locker
without the
room,
bucket.
Kerry Fraser has a helmet with hair on it.
Yeah,
He didn't
Gino,
even wear that. I was just like, that must be Kerry's.
he had a helmet with hair on it.
That's
On the
awesome.
outside, so he didn't have to. He could still show off the lettuce.
Oh,
When
that's
we got to
incredible.
use the Bruins' actual locker room, and you were holding a skincare class in the fucking Bruins.
I was,
bathroom.
I gave the boys a little insight into my skin routine, and
Boy.
and they were into it. Bob Sweeney, he was taking tips. I believe Jean-Yves Roy was there taking some skin tips.
Turned the corner, they were all paying attention in their towels. So they're just, oh, yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. But what an atmosphere, 12,000 plus. I mean, and the new season is dropping actually the same day this is dropping. It's dropping on Christmas. Yes.
I didn't realize.
Yes. So, yeah, it was really cool. The only thing missing was Gino. You were the
Yeah.
only thing that was missing.
Yeah. I had a lot of shit going on Sunday.
Yeah.
Weekends are tough.
You had a day going on.
Well, I was away that weekend too, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's
away
right.
every fucking weekend. But
The game was fun, but we closed the Bell in Hand with the cast after the
wow,
game.
that's cool.
Everyone went to the Bell in Hand, and it was hilarious watching people walk by and they look in and they like do a triple take and they're like, it's that.
Yeah. People in the bar, like one girl's talking and all of a sudden she looks over and she gets on her phone immediately. And you can hear her saying, yeah, no, the cast is here. It's wild.
But it's so cool hanging out with those guys because they pretty much remembered us from last year. And so this
They
year
did.
it was like we didn't need to like introduce ourselves, and like I was surprised they still remembered us, and you got recognized by a lot of them from a Pat Shea's show.
Yes. I told you, Jared Kiso, before in warm-ups came up and we were talking and he said, hey, I love that show you're on YouTube. And 3 people sent clips from Full Ride to him saying, check out the show on YouTube. And he said there's a big buzz in Canada and thought me, you, and Frankie were fantastic in it as the coaches. So,
Oh, very good.
And he said
Yeah.
Corey's mom loves it.
yes. And what's funny too is, how a lot of people are giving our buddy Pat Shea, another former guest, shit about how it's a ripoff of Shoresy and the Kiso. Shoresy himself said, no, it isn't. It's not a ripoff at all. And
I was standing
you know,
right there. He did say that.
yes, and
No,
he
it's
and he
not.
said you know, there can be more than one hockey comedy show out there. First
And
of
it's
all,
not
second of
even. It has nothing to. It's not even anything like Shoresy.
right, that's the thing, nothing like it. So we heard from Shoresy himself that Full Ride is its own entity, and he loves it. He thought it was great.
Well, it's like the same. Like, how many friggin' food shows are there? On
Yeah, I know.
It's a spoof on college. How ridiculous college hockey is with 35-year-olds playing.
yeah.
I probably still have eligibility.
I think I have a year left. One of my favorite scenes is when they're at the party and Pat's talking to the girl and he's like, "Name's Patty, new star on the freshman star on the hockey team," and she's like, "How old are you?" And he goes, 23. She's like, "You're my dad's age." That's one of my favorite scenes.
How was I not in the show?
You know what? Season 2.
Season 2.
We're
I was
getting
too
you
busy
ready.
filming my Vice documentary for.
That's
That was
that's
awesome,
right.
by the way. I watched that whole thing.
You did? I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet. I'm just like on edge. I'm like, when are they? I just know I said some stuff in there that I was like, I was joking. I hope they didn't really put that in. So I was just like on edge. I was like, I can't take this, but looks like it
No, it
turned
came
out
out
pretty
good.
good.
No, it turned out good. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing's weird.
What
I
the name?
think Bill Belichick was kidnapped.
The name? Well, the name of it's on Vice, right?
Yep.
And what is it called?
Out of Bounds.
Out of Bounds.
Out of Bounds, the story of Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson.
Yeah, like
I believe-
Felger's in it. Fitzy's in it. Fitzy talks a lot. I mean, obviously he talks a lot anyway, so you know he would get a lot of airtime. So he's in it a lot.
Former guest, Fitzy.
Yeah, who's the guy that went out and found what's the guy's name? Pablo or something?
Oh yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah, he did all the investigation. He went out to the Wittrip Airbnb and tracked down all the crap.
So
But,
I
yeah,
thought
that's a
Felger
wild-
wasn't going to be in it. I thought Fitzy wasn't. I didn't know any of these people were going to be in it, and I didn't really. They asked me questions for like 2 hours, but I was thinking because they asked me, that means Felger said no. Nick Stevens, Fitzy said no. I was like, everyone must have said no if I'm in this.
You were sixth on the
Yeah.
list.
I was
Yeah,
the
it's a
backup
good-
to the
it's a good
E-Bug.
documentary.
Well, it's cool you're in it.
Yeah. I asked like 7 times. I'm like, how'd you guys find me? Because they hit me up on Instagram. They're like, we want you to be in this. Would you be interested? I almost didn't respond because I thought it was like a scam thing. And I was like, let's just see what this is.
Wow.
Now we're on Vice.
I believe you said Jordan. I believe it's Jordan.
Jordan, excuse me.
I'm kidding. I think it's again, best comment of anyone was Ty Law saying, for Bill, good on him. But if that's my daughter, hell no.
I think I said that in the. I don't think it made it to the documentary. I was like, are you asking me as a dad or a Patriots fan?
Right. Exactly. No, that's
Like
cool.
the
And actually, you know what? That's where the documentary, and we won't talk about it right now too much, but that's where that idea came from.
Well,
Yes.
that's a good. That's what I figured, and then I already have one in mind already.
Fantastic.
But that whole documentary was fucked. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had something, and then I lost my mind. I lost my train of thought.
Well, Penalty Box Productions is officially in business, so
Nice.
you got to start working on a logo.
All right, cool.
And the AOA guys are all about it. So Mike
What is it?
Kanzi, they're all about getting involved with the documentary stuff. Got some exciting stuff coming up for next year.
Beauty.
A lot of stuff coming up. Actually, you know what? I forgot to mention on the TikTok, we hit 10,000 followers.
That's right.
We hit 10,000 followers, and Instagram we're up over 5,500.
What does that
And,
mean?
that just means we have a shit ton of followers. And
What does that
I
mean?
do-
I don't know what that means.
well, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh.
Yeah.
And I
All right.
might be, but you're the TikTok guru. Isn't that when you can get monetized? 10,000?
It does unlock some stuff, and I would take it easy on the TikTok guru. I know how to do some stuff on it.
Well,
I know how to do what I do. But 10,000. I don't know. I'll have to look because they just recently changed everything and then changed it back and changed it again.
Of course they
I think
did.
it might be like 500 now, but I think 10,000 does like bring you up a level. But
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't know what that includes.
It seems to be like an important number to hit.
Yeah.
You know, and we got 12,000 followers on Facebook now. That's progress, baby. That's progress. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that it's a cool thing that we're coming up on 2 years, right? And coming up on 100 episodes, and I think the future is as what's his name said one time in a song in the I believe it was the 80s, the future's so bright I got to wear shades. Who was that?
That was
You remember that
Linda
song?
Ronstadt. I don't know.
No, fuck. You remember that song, Gino? You're not as young as Josh.
What is it?
Who is the future's so bright I got to wear shades? Who sang that song?
Hold on. We're
I know we're all fucking using the Google machine. But I want to say Corey something. Is it Corey
by
Feldman?
Timbuk 3?
What?
The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
And that's yeah. Timbuk 3. Oh, okay. All right. No, I never would have got that. But I
wonder if-
remember the song. So
think
anyway,
they're still touring?
I guess the point is we're excited.
Yes. We're just getting started.
We are. And we got some cool guests getting lined up for 2026, including some of the boys from Shoresy. I got to say, I put out a video of me skating around in the warm-ups there on the socials, and Max, JJ Frankie, JJ, Max Buffon. How do you say it?
I don't know.
I said Buffard, but I know it's not Buffard. I know because he's French, so it's probably some fancy way of saying it. But anyway,
His name's JJ Frankie JJ now, whether
Yes.
he likes it or not.
awesome dude. Wait till you meet this guy, Gino. He is just absolutely hilarious. And so he commented
all
on
are.
it. He commented. Yeah, they all are. They all are.
They gotta pass the Jared Kiso test.
Yes. So yeah. But looking back, so let's just talk a little bit about different episodes. Because this year started with number 45.
3.
So we banged out a bunch. You know what? Someone asked me the other day, what was your favorite guest or episode? And I honestly, it's hard to pick one. And someone said, yeah, have you had any duds? Like anyone that you had on that was kind of like, oh, this is boring. We haven't.
No. Every single
We've
time
had,
we do
like-
an episode, after the episode, I feel like we're all like, that was probably the best one yet.
Yeah.
No, we've had some interesting ones. Some that went awry that in a direction where I didn't think it was going to go, or you have a different game plan, or you think you're going to talk about something, or you think it was just going to be one of those like yeah. There's a lot of unique ones. Some of them just took a turn that was like, oh wow, I didn't think it was going to go there.
Yeah, like when we had Danny O'Connor on and we didn't know he was going to talk about ducks for an hour and a half.
He
Him,
did like his ducks.
dude, our
And he
buddy in Rhode
texted me
Island.
after the episode. He's like, did I talk about ducks too much?
I forgot all about the duck.
I forgot about the Ducks too, but that was like, I mean, yeah, that like things like that, and then like the Townsend one, the
Graham was awesome.
Graham was great.
Marziali. Ralph.
Mazriali, that
His
one,
story is just incredible.
that one I didn't know what to expect, and when he started talking and going, like his story just kept going and going and going, and then like like the Rob LeBlanc one with all the special need kids, like that one was very special, especially with my situation and everything going on here, just to see some people really caring and giving their time and effort into a program that is really beneficial to those special needs kids, which is awesome to see.
So Ray,
Did I say Rob?
did you?
Yeah, I might have.
Yeah. Well, Ray LeBlanc was great. And I did a show last week and at Giggles, and it was for association blind. I forget the name of the association, but probably 85% of the audience was blind. And we even had a comedian came up who did an awesome job. His name escapes me right now, but I'm going to come up with it. Mike Karsak, who's blind, came up and did a killer set. And it was interesting because I brought up Ray and having, I think it was Brianna, the girl that was blind that played hockey, who's on the national team. And it was cool because people in the crowd knew Ray and knew about the program and stuff. So it
Oh,
was
that's
pretty
awesome.
neat. Yeah. And I think Ray, I'm looking for his, what number, if you want to check that out. It was a great episode. 61, episode 61, Ray LeBlanc.
Byron Bits episode.
That's right. Was it? And we bring up Graham and that episode, and I think it's perfectly timed because we're about halfway through. Let me tell you a little bit more about Townsend Hockey. Townsend Hockey, they don't just build great hockey players, they build great people with discipline, respect, leadership on and off the ice. They train character, they grow confidence, and they inspire a lifelong love of the game. Because at Townsend Hockey, it's not just about the scoreboard, it's about who you become. They build teammates, leaders, young people with heart, grit, and integrity because they know the lessons learned on the ice, discipline, respect, resilience, are the same ones that shape strong character off the ice. At Townsend Hockey, they don't just develop great hockey players, they develop great people. Townsend Hockey, join them and become more than just a player, become your best self. Townsend Hockey, practice until you get it right, practice until you can't get it wrong, and you can find out more at townsendhockey.com. And we want to thank Graham and his wife for being such big supporters of the show. And his episode was really fantastic. He was on episode 82 and got into kind of like the mental health stuff from college hockey and whatnot. That was pretty cool. I think the way we started off the year with Becca Peasy. So obviously Antarctica had to be the coldest.
Negative 20.
I'm an idiot.
It was negative 20.
Negative 20.
Negative
So
20.
you ran negative 20, and you also ran 91 degrees.
Yeah, so
in the same week.
Yeah, in Antarctica, I was like, dear God, please just keep me warm. I'll never complain. And then I got to Dubai. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hot. I'm like, I'm seeing stars. And I called my dad. I said, I saw stars. And he's like, famous people? I said, no, like I'm telling you, I saw stars. Like when I was closing my eyes, he's like, take it easy. That's it. Don't worry. And
And if you don't know who she is or you haven't watched the episode, it's episode 45. She ran 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. She did it twice. And she's in the Guinness Book of World Records. And as a matter of fact, she just got in again, the Guinness Book of World Records. She ran a marathon at the North Pole, which is apropos, seeing that it's Christmas. North Pole, that's where Santa lives. So she ran a marathon at the North Pole. And her story, just, an amazing person and even a more amazing athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I did something similar to that, but it was a Santa Claus Shuffle 5K, so it's not exactly a marathon at the North Pole, but
Not even close.
No, but I almost died at the 5K, and she probably had gas left in the tank at the end of that.
But that was the first marathon of 7, though.
That was your first 5K that you did. You did one 5K in 7 years.
Yeah, and I was only there for the beer tent at the end.
That's
You got 2 tickets with your bib.
you compare a 5K to what Becca Peasy did. That's
Well,
awesome.
to me, it's a marathon.
Yeah, that's true. For you, it's a freaking miracle.
Like if I were to pick one episode that was my favorite, was probably that one, just because that story just like so unique and something that I never thought of, or even interviewing someone that did that, and then, we're sitting here as like a referee podcast, and, you got, an incredible athlete that like nobody even really like understands what she can do and what she's capable of doing. And it was just like her story and her dedication and passion for that sport is incredible. And just her journey. And now that she's like, she was a participant and now she's running the event, No
Yeah.
different, so it's like really, really cool. And then like, she's still running and training and all that. And then, we're just waiting for Mark to run the marathon with her.
I was hoping you forgot. I'm supposed to do that next year.
Yeah. So you got to start training, dude.
Well, you know what? If I do it,
I said no right away. My knees. You think
No.
I just went for a walk with my kids? You think I'm gonna go for a run? Like fuck that.
I was so inspired.
I was too. Yeah,
Right?
that was.
It's nice to be inspired.
She made me want to run. I don't know how, but she
I know a
made me want to
5K
run.
you can run if you want.
26 miles is a little longer than a 5K there, Big Shoots.
That's a long drive.
It is. Well, I was just going to say, maybe I'll run the marathon if you put me in a D1 game and stop age discriminating. But that's a whole nother story.
You got to call the sprays of the goalie.
I'll call him. I called one this year, right after I busted your balls on a Monday night call, because the goalie was standing up and he sprayed the pads. That weekend, I called it in a D3 game. Yeah, I called it in a D3 game. So I love that call. But yeah, Becca is awesome. Check her story out, Becca Peasy. An athlete that everyone should know about. And she trained Zdeno Chara to run the Boston Marathon, and also trained Patrice Bergeron to do a 5K, much like Josh, only that Bergie ran. So, but we followed her up with Coho. Have another donut, you fat pig. Hilarious. Called Frankie Chirps a squirrel.
Yeah, we've had so many people on. I've forgotten about a lot of them.
It's like, I think it was the beginning of the year. So we went from Becca to Coho to Chappie, Kevin Chapman, right? Freddie Cork and his 14-inch cock. And then we had Derek Amell on, 24 years in the NHL as a linesman. I mean, that was crazy cool.
He's funny too. He has some funny stories. I love the one about Marchand. Why are you staring at me? Why wouldn't I? Am I going to watch Bergie?
We actually, when you think about it, for referees, we had Coho, we had Frazier, Kerry Frazier, Derek Amell. We also, we had, drawing a blank, Kelly Rolstad.
Jesus Christ.
Kelly Rolstad. No, I was trying to come up with a name. Kelly Rolstad. We had her on episode 57. And she, Olympics and all kinds of stuff. I mean, she was amazing too.
College hockey, yeah, everything.
Yeah. And we actually had, you know what? We're progressive here. We're a very inclusive podcast, because that was a string of 3 female guests we had in a row: Bridget Prue, and then Kelly, and then we had our friend Jamie Parker on, who was absolutely awesome. She was hilarious. So that was 3 in a row right there.
That's what we call a zebra's hat trick.
That's right. But then, how about the one from the base? You guys weren't there. I did it alone with Mike from AOA, but we had Peter freaking Gammons.
Pretty cool.
Fucking right. And the director of the base, those guys, the base over in Roxbury, just an incredible place over there. They do some great stuff.
Yeah, we kind of went outside the rink this year, because we had him on. We had, I know you're probably going to mention it, Cedric Maxwell.
Episode 62. How cool is he? How cool is Max?
Max was awesome.
I mean, how can it be magical if you have something walking through that looked like a cat but was a freaking rat? How can it be magical if you're playing a game one day and there's a hole in the roof and it was raining that day and rain was just pouring down like on the corner of the floor, and they told you, hey, just don't go over there.
Put a cone on it.
No, don't. You can't play over there in that area. It's like, so I'm not sure about the magic of the Garden. I know the Lakers like to say that when we played them, that we turned the AC off. But we didn't have no AC. How are you gonna turn the AC? This isn't the Forum. So yeah, the Garden was a special place, and to have it torn down was pretty crazy. I think I had one of those things where a lady came up to me and she was holding she had 2 seats in her hand. And she's like, these things are very special to me. I'm like, they are? She said, and because they tore the seats down out of the Garden, they sold them to people. She said, these 2 seats are special. I'm like, well, why? And what she tells me just was shocking. She said, because my kids were conceived in these chairs. I'm like, what? What? Told you it was magical. I'm like, she you said at the rock concert. I'm like, well, I guess okay. A rock concert was dark. I'm like, really? So the Garden has its own certain appeal that you look at. The old Boston Garden. The new one now is a fun place to play, but like you said, the rafters, the banners, all the things that come along with the old Garden was special.
Just such a here's a guy that was an MVP, an NBA Finals MVP, and has a quote on the Boston wall of the Boston Library, right? Just get on my back for 1984 NBA Finals. Just an incredible athlete and a great announcer. He does a great job doing the color commentary. And so, yeah, Max was great. And we also had talk about non-hockey rinks. How about Matt Light?
Light,
Episode
yes.
76. Light. How fun was that, Gino?
That was a good day.
At Gillette.
Yep, that was a fun day. He was a great interview. He was such a great guy. Easy going, just right into it. He could hit play the second he walked in the door.
Yeah. And the backdrop was it looked fake. I mean, it really did.
Then we just did the Matt Light game at the Bruins alumni at Warrior this past weekend. Saw you there for 5 minutes, and then you had to go to Maine.
I had to go to Maine, but up to Augusta, the capital. But, what was cool about the Matt Light game with the Bruins alumni? My buddy Eric Dunn singing the national anthem.
He has the voice of an angel. He was fantastic.
Yeah. Gino, you got to meet this kid. His story is really interesting. He has autism, 24 years old, but he sings. He's an incredible singer, and he sang at the Boston Celtics on Autism Awareness Night. He sings
Sweet
all over the place. Brown. He sings at the hockey and basketball games, and Polar Park. He goes a lot of different places, and he was amazing. So shout out to our buddy Eric Dunn, because he is an incredible talent. Tim Sheeta. Tim Sheeta, longtime MLB ump.
Yeah, he was awesome. Honestly, I feel like if we didn't have to go that day, he'd still be telling us stories right now.
I think he still is.
Yeah. 2.5 hours.
Back in those days, I always threw the ball back to the pitcher, and I will be proud to say that the catchers in the league always said that I had the best arm. I was young. I was a younger guy, and I enjoyed throwing the ball. And Mike Stanley was catching, and the last hitter was Robbie Alomar, and that's gonna be a tough last out because Robbie's a good player, and he fouled about 3 off, and I was down to 1 ball, and the kid was bringing me more baseballs, so I didn't want to break the rhythm here, so I handed the ball to Stanley, and I went to the kid and got the other baseballs. And Stanley's standing there with the ball. He looks back at me. He goes, he goes, "You've been throwing it back all night. We're not changing that right now." Love that. I said, "Okay, Steamer, I got you." So sure enough, I hit him, and then the next pitch, Robbie swung and missed, and that was it. And it was kind of funny. I just kind of stood there. I never even made a call. That was it. Game's over. And I kind of just took in the moment and watched the celebration a little bit and walked off the field slowly. And first of all, as soon as the guy swings and misses, Shulock's working second. Now, John's been around for a long time. And he's running in toward the mound on a dead sprint. He's never sprinted a day in his life. And he's flying, right? Now, John actually played in the minor leagues in the Twins organization. He's probably one of the better athletes to ever become a major league umpire. And he's flying. I go, what the hell's going on here? Please don't tell me you had timeout or something and I got to go through another pitch here. Oh, geez. He comes by and he grabs the rosin bag on the fly and just almost trips and just runs right past me into the clubhouse. He's gone, and it's a kind of a long walk up to the dressing room. So I get to the dressing room. John's already in there, and he's telling our clubhouse guy, "Okay, we need 24 balls, all autographed by Nolan. I need 4 unused tickets." He's telling them all the novelty stuff that we need to get from this game.
You always need that guy.
And I'm just over there cracking a beer. Okay, John, You do whatever you want, man. Yeah, get me one ball. I'll take one ball. That's all I need.
That was episode 74. Tim Sheeta. He was
75
great.
and 76.
We could have done 3.
I wanted to, but he goes, oh, we'll have him back on because honestly, we didn't even get him to ask like the questions I want. I had 2. We didn't even get to.
We said hello, and he did all the work.
But it was great though. He was a professional through and through, and you understand why he worked how far and how quick. You know, he just had that temperament. Like those type of guys. Like, I mean, I've been in this industry now for a long time, and you can pick somebody out of a crowd who gets it and who doesn't.
So true. And he had some great advice for like young officials and how to approach the game. I mean, he like kind of put on a clinic on top of telling all kinds of cool Nolan Ryan stories and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a lot of great information in his. I would say that was up there as one of my favorites too.
Yeah, it was a real cool episode because you know, he was a hockey guy too.
When I'm out in Minnesota, I'm going to try to go to dinner at his restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. He works at a restaurant. Like, what's cool is he was an MLB ump for 20-something years, but a hockey guy, and he refereed hockey.
Yeah,
So
he knows the Sheps. Yeah, he knows that.
Yeah, just a really cool guy, and
he's like friends with a lot of the NHL refs too, right? Like he was.
Well, Chris Rooney, our buddy Chris Rooney, who's coming back actually this month from his shoulder surgery. He hooked us up with Tim. That's who he got us in touch with. So because he was good friends with Tim, and he also got us a guy by the name of Pierre McGuire. We had Pierre on, episode 85. Talk about a memory, and just stories.
He was great, and you know he does. I didn't realize he was working for ECAC too. Have you checked out his podcast with those guys?
I have not. No.
Yep. He did one with Scott Fusco. He's the owner of the Wizards. You know, went to Harvard. You know, my daughter plays his U10 team, and they're filthy, absolutely filthy. Yeah, they're really good. But you know, like you look at that, and then you try to compare coach, and you go, okay, Hobie Baker winner went to Harvard versus.
Yeah. All right.
You know, it's just like, yes, all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You want me to rep that one?
I don't think it would matter. They can play short-handed.
Turn the sticks upside down?
Dude, they scored like they even scored short-handed, I think. Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, it was a beating last two Sundays ago.
You know, I forgot a referee is Carl Sasson.
Yeah, Carl.
Carl was awesome.
Yeah, he was. That was a good episode.
Yes, he was awesome. He's still crushing it. Every day he's working his ass off. So good for him.
No, he has a great program coaching, right?
Yes.
Like the players.
Mental health, yep.
Yeah, coaching mental health, the coaching attitude, and approach. I think it's the assassin method or something. I'm drawing a blank. I should know. But Carl is awesome. Check him out. And then, you know what? We had some really cool coaches on, too. We had Peter Roundy from Curry. I mean, he was fantastic and gave some really good insight into, you know, recruiting at the D3 level and what coaches look for and that kind of thing. And I was able to do the Curry golf outing and do some jokes and whatnot. And met his dad, actually. His dad's a great guy.
I met his family down in Florida for the meetings down there, yeah.
Episode 60 was Peter Roundy. We also had Dave Gosher from Vegas.
Yeah,
Gosher was great.
Yep.
Well, he's in Vegas. He's from here.
Well, he's from Rhode Island, actually.
Yeah.
And he's from Rhode Island, but longtime radio voice of the Boston Bruins, and now the television voice for the Vegas Golden Knights. He was a lot of fun too. And you know, we got to bring up Jack and Jim McCorkle.
Yeah,
the twins from the Garden. They're, you know, head of security over at the Garden. I grew up with them playing hockey and went to high school with them. They actually were the connection for Cedric Maxwell. And there's a couple other guys they're hooking us up with to come on. And
we'll be there. We're Dylan skating at the Garden on the 28th. Mini one-on-one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. Her team
yeah,
won Mini 101.
yeah, they won the district, and then yeah, so they're going. The junior terriers are going, and then it's funny, like a bunch of her teammates play for town. So like there's different districts, and Canton won. So there's two terriers and then an Eagles girl that we know very well from Canton. So they're playing. So that'll be fun. It'll be a good day.
Mini 101. We talked about Peter Punk when we talked
Yeah, we
about
did.
it. Remember
That's right.
Peter Punk. We talked Peter Punk.
Probably the only podcast reference Peter Puck has ever gotten.
You know what? I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it. How about R.A.?
R.A., yes.
How great was R.A.?
R.A. is
He
the
was
best.
he was awesome. Like
Yeah.
super nice. You could talk a fucking buzzard off a bag of shit. And he'd just go on and on and on.
Bruins fan, right? You grew up bleeding black and gold.
Yeah.
And then you end up blogging about it on a regular basis. That's got to be cool.
It was awesome, and like I mean, I tell people like I was at when the Bruins won it in '72. They clinched it at Madison Square Garden, but they played games 1, 2, and 5 at Boston Garden. I tell people I was there. My mother was 9 months pregnant. I was born May 24th, and I think they clinched May 15th. So I tell people, like, my mother's out there, probably gassing bears, I'm sure. Like, it was 72. I was in there. I just had obstructive view, though,
That's awesome.
So, so when I was, basically, I gestated the whole, like, 71, 72 Bruins season, the legendary Bobby Winslow, Big Bad Bruins. And my parents had season tickets. So, I was just born into Bruins fandom, and tortured by the Canadians as kids. And, tickets were tough back then, like late 70s, early 80s. And if, my grandmother would get us tickets every Christmas. And, if we would get Canadians tickets, even though they were going to dummy the Bruins, it was just a treat to see Guy Lafleur and Kenny Dryden and Steve Shutt, Larry Robinson. It's like you just, you fell in love with the game going to them all the time. Now, as far as playing, like, I mean, obviously I got gift here and here, but I couldn't skate for shit. My brother, 2, 3 years old, like off like a wizard, man. Just the natural gift. Me, ankle burner, fucking 3 fucking milk crates, fucking a walker or whatever. It just wasn't happening.
What did he say? I could talk the ears off a statue.
Something, I don't know. He had all the fucking lingo. He could, he had it just rolled, man. He could talk.
That was fun because it was
very
kind
informational.
Like 3 city kids just chopping it up. It was a lot of fun.
That's what it felt like, right? Like once he found out I was from Salty, he's like, "Oh, you're from Salty? Oh, fuck yeah!"
Well, yeah.
Like it's just instant. Like, all right, you get it.
Yeah. Like we could have been sitting in the living room or a bar. It wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I think it's fun.
We saw him at the Shoresy game. He was coaching the Shoresy team.
Yeah.
Cool.
Was my father there?
Yes, your father was on the Bruins bench, come to think of it. He was on the Bruins bench.
He was on the bench?
Yeah, he was on the bench. He was like a guest coach or something. So,
He
yeah.
was down there. But
He
yeah,
was-
RA was on the Shoresy bench, but he was at a right angle the entire time because he had awful back pain. And I know, Riley, back pain just like I do. And I felt so bad for him, but he still came out to the Bell in Hand and he sat at our table and I propped him up the whole time.
Yeah, no, he was in some pain, but great dude. Just a great dude, great guest. He's back on Chicklets, which is awesome. Where he belongs. How about some of the players we had on? First of all, we had an NHL player, our first NHL player, Sam Lafferty. We had him on in Montana.
Yeah, that episode was a lot of fun. I mean, it was, that one was great. Sam got completely freaking taken out in that chair, the Warrior for Life game the day before. And we were going to show the what?
Bundled. Yeah. But he was a great sport and just, the biggest thing we took away from that is here's a young player. And you know how young players nowadays, a lot of entitlement, a lot of bullshit, right? This kid, humble, gets it, worked his ass off at Brown for 4 years, knew he wasn't ready until he was ready. Just a great guy.
Yeah, that whole everyone there was awesome, and it was cool of him to be. He was the only current NHL guy that was there, right?
Yes, only current NHL guy. There was 9 other NHLers, some of which have been guests, like Mark Mowers.
Yes,
Mark Mowers came on, and he was hilarious. Mark was great.
He was awesome.
He's always hilarious.
Oh, he's out in Montana. He started the rumor about Kevin Miller going out to shoot a mountain lion on the barbecue.
And everyone, it was so funny just to see him come up with the idea and then slowly watch him go around and tell everyone. And then when Kevin Miller and Andrew Ferentz came back down in the golf cart, he just slowly backed into the garage.
Andrew Ferentz was incredible in the alumni game. You know, he looks like he could step right back in.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
He got the game stick.
He did.
He got the game stick from Terry
Ryan, who he beat the shit out of. Apparently.
Yeah. You know, Andrew Ferentz and Terry Ryan fought back in when they were in the OHL, I think. Did he say?
Really?
I think it was, and I guess Ferentz threw a beating on him.
Yeah, Ferentz was tough. That whole Bruins team that won the cup was tough. Everybody could
They
fight.
were nasty.
There wasn't one guy that could drop them.
We also had Andy Brickley. We went golfing with Brick.
Yep.
It was
Thanks to
109 that day.
Yep.
It was so fun,
golf
though.
course.
It was
only
a
9
blast.
holes.
I'll take that all day.
It was a tap-in ball.
No,
You can ask for more than that.
I'll take that all day. All day. You played a lot of golf. Who's the best golfer you've played with?
Great question.
Well, I've played with guys on the PGA Tour, when I've been lucky enough to be part of fundraising events, and you know, you play with guys that are required to be there, whether they like it or not. But as far as athletes that I've played with, I think the best player I ever played with was with Mario Lemieux.
No kidding.
Okay.
And he was young when I played with him. He was like 19.
Oh, wow.
And he was probably like a +3 handicap. And it was like flawless, like just, it was, 6'6", effortless, little draw. The sound off the club was just like stuff I'm not familiar with. Like,
Right.
Right. Well, he's called
and he's
Super
probably
Mario.
better today than he was back then.
I'm sure.
I mean, he can shoot a puck. I mean, he's got to shoot that little pill. Like, geez.
It was a blast.
I just saw Brick at the Bruins game last week, and I said hi to him. I don't think he remembered who I was. he just went, hey.
No, Brick's the best.
Same
And,
golf
you know,
cart.
of course, we had some legends on. Our buddy Kenny Hodge, who's not a junior, but everyone calls him a junior. Big fan of the show. Him and his dad, the Ken Hodge, the OG Ken Hodge, came on and talk about, I mean, you know, we love Kenny, and he's a huge fan of the show. And his dad is a Bruins legend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think number 8 should have been retired for him.
That's what like a lot of like my parents' generation says. That they're like, I love Cam, but that's Ken Hodge.
Yeah, no, it's and
Can you
that's what-
retire both names?
you know what? I wonder what
You look
like,
weird, but like, why not? Who gives a fuck? He wore it. What's the
He wore it.
difference?
and both of them deserve to have their number up there. Well,
And the number is up there, so
Right.
like his name
So,
should be attached to that. Not
His name should be.
Yeah, because weren't they talking about doing that with when they retired Phil Esposito's number? They were originally gonna like, if Ray Bork ended up, they were gonna have it like split or something.
Yeah,
throw 88 up for Neely. I should have just did that.
and nothing to take away anything from Cam, obviously, but
No,
you know,
he deserves to be there too. But
yep. But Ken definitely just an absolute legend. Along with Rick Middleton.
Yeah.
Nifty was
Another-
great. Wasn't Nifty
He's in the
great?
draft.
he was one that I was like kind of shocked at how professional he was, and he was really into it. You know, once he got telling a story, you can tell a lot of these guys enjoy it. It's like reminiscing.
Yeah, Nifty's great. When I first started like podcasting, like back in 2013, he was one of the first guests that I had on. It was back when like you could say podcast to anybody out on the street, and they'd be like, "What the hell is that? Why would you do that?" Like people at the radio station used to make fun of me for having a podcast, but he did one of the first podcast episodes I ever did. He came. We filmed it at the Kowloon up in the giant room, red room.
Yeah.
And we did it up there, and he's just always down to do whatever. He's always so supportive and helps in whatever way. And that was an awesome episode.
He's one of the best. Talk about, you know what one of the Bruins alumni aren't?
Yeah.
like you can't think of one that's not just a great guy.
Or hockey.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's true. You think about that Bruins alumni team and the alumni we've had on, and it's like you really can't find an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's
You
kind of the
can't.
same. That's what I noticed a lot with like the NHL guys and the Navy SEALs is where I'm like, they could do whatever they want to anybody. And they're the nicest people. I was like, well, I guess if I walked in a room and I knew that like I could beat up anybody or take anybody out in 2 seconds, I'd probably be the nice. Well, I try to be nice because I don't want one of them overpowering me.
Well, further proof, you don't like we say it in refereeing, you don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
You don't know who's in the room. And who is better than John Ackles?
And you start, I mean, immediately when you do breakout, it's chaos, right? It's guns with blanks firing in the air, water everywhere. They bring in fire trucks from Coronado, I think on base and out in the town. So it's just madness. Everyone's yelling, percussion grenades going off. And you immediately see people start quitting, hearing the bell ring. And a lot of great guys, great folks, they just didn't quite maybe have it or didn't want it at that point. But and in some ways, in a not negative way, but sometimes that's motivating, right? Because you're like, man, now they're, because as you probably know, they take their helmets and they line them up, right? Outside of the instructor's office. And seeing
We
that.
don't know that, by the
No,
way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So all the people.
So when they ring the bell, they'll take their helmet off and then they line them up. So you can pull up pictures of it. And they'll line them up outside the instructor's office in what we call the grinder. It's kind of like a parking lot, which, again, people are going to be like rolling their eyes. But effectively, to explain it, that's what it is. And that's where you do a lot of your physical training and PT and stuff. And so, yeah, you line the helmets up, and that represents how many folks have dropped on request, DOR,
So you
rang the bell.
Oh, wow.
And again, sometimes you see that and you're like, okay, I'm still here, right? I think for me, people are like, how do you think you got through, or what made you push? A couple things I thought of. One is I always told myself early on, log PT is a you carry the heavy logs around the telephone poles that are cut down, pretty gnarly. And you do those for hours at some points. And that's one that always comes to mind. And I always told myself, before I was under the logs, and certainly when I was under there, one of the things I said is I don't want to show my face at home to friends, to kids I grew up with, hockey teammates, amazing friends that would welcome me with open arms. It's
Right.
okay. But mentally, I kept saying, I don't, because even if it was always scary to get hurt, right? And your heart always breaks when people get hurt. But either way, to come back and say I didn't make it or I wasn't there was so scary and frightening to me.
Yeah, flew out here on his own dime. And, that story about him in the cliffs with the RPG misfiring, landing like 10 feet from them, that fucking story just blew my mind. And he just recommended, I asked him for what a good book about SEALs would be. I was looking for something. I had a bunch of long rides. Warrior Elite, he recommended. And it's all about buds and the SEAL training and Hell Week. And I'm about halfway through, and it's insane what those guys go through to get the trident to, and become part of the teams. It's just amazing.
Is it insane
that
that,
episode.
is it insane that I had a process that you are actually driving and not reading a book? And I'm like, how the fuck is he doing that? Oh, he's got a book on tape.
Yeah, I don't read well.
And I was like,
Driving
does
or
he read and
otherwise.
drive? I was like, because he's a horrible driver in one. Like, he can't do
Hey,
both.
hey,
No.
hey, I can hear you.
That's the whole point.
That's funny. Mike Shue. Forgot we had Shue on.
Yeah, Mike Shue.
Yep,
With
he was
disc-
awesome.
Disc golf, right? He had the
Yes.
disc golf going on. How about the show he did from Cagney's?
Having all the kids on, yeah.
We got to give a shout out to your friend that owns
Cagney's, yep. Go check it out in Quincy. Great,
Excellent
great
food.
food, great
Yeah.
atmosphere, cold beer,
No, that was
good service.
and we had a
And they
couple
rock
of the,
they all rock the swag too. I see it around town. It's hilarious.
really.
Oh, look at there's my
I love it. They like the bartender and everyone over there. The manager just like super, super accommodating.
yeah,
And
they're the
just-
best.
Yeah, I mean, just super nice.
And Dylan started playing hockey with them her first year playing. So like the 4 girls all got in a team. So one of the owners' daughters on one of them, and they're playing the Terriers together, playing Weymouth together, and yeah, it's been,
And
been
well, and we had two former guests on, Jerry Thornton from Barstool,
yes,
and episode 67 this past year, PJ Thibodeau.
yeah, he was funny, man.
Is he not one of the funniest people that you've ever hung around with?
He's great.
His humor is like, he's sitting like, okay, he just ripped you. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, he just made fun of me.
A great
PJ's
storyteller.
awesome. I mean, I don't agree with what he said, saying I move around too much on the podcast, but
He did say that, He goes, the funniest thing is watching Josh, like, disappear, come back.
Yeah, wait till he
Hey,
sees
what
me.
going
This
on,
one.
all right? He's going to love you in this one. But and also another great comedian and storyteller, Mike Hanley.
He was
Just
funny,
fucking
man.
hilarious.
I want to see his stand up. He was a funny. I laughed that whole podcast.
No, he was awesome. And one of the reels we put out about him talking about the Halloween incident with Andrew Bell. No, not Andrew Bell. What's the base? Andrew Bell's a referee for you, I think.
Andrew Bell is a referee, not for me anymore.
Shout out.
Oh, okay. Who? Albert Bell.
Yes.
I don't know why I drew a blank. Albert Bell. That story, when that video went viral, got over 1 million views. Him telling that story
Hilarious.
about shouting candies at Albert Bell. And then I don't
And
want
then people saying it didn't happen is hilarious.
like just absolutely stupid. And then they're like, what do you go to a game on the day after Halloween and blah? And it's like, no, you dummy. It was the next season. It's like people online sometimes they don't quite get it.
That's why they're online.
But it helps the algorithm when they comment.
How about Chris Nyland?
Chrissy Nyland.
We had Chris on. We had Knuckles on the episode before Frazier. 54 was Chris Nyland. 55 was Kerry Frazier, and they had that incident when he butt-ended Rick Middleton in the mouth, or as he says, I caught him with his glove, and it was Kerry Frazier's fault. But Chris was awesome, and just I don't want to forget anyone. Oh, Franny Doyle, lacrosse ref.
Yeah,
long time lacrosse ref, and I think I'm coming back. I think I'm going to go back and do. You should do lacrosse. You and I should do lacrosse games.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, not a fucking chance.
Not a chance. Come on, we could
Not
be
even
the
going
new
to
age
entertain it.
Binder and Doyle. We could be the new Jimmy Doyle and Gene Binder.
I don't know.
We could be the new. No,
I don't want to learn the rules. I don't want to learn.
you played it.
I don't want to deal with parents.
You
people.
fucking played it though. What do you mean you don't want to learn the rules? You know the rules.
Nah, they're different now.
I don't think so. Bob Heidelberg.
Yes, Bob.
Those Patriots. We saw him at the Shorzy game.
Yeah.
The stories he had, like you don't even know they exist. Like you remember the players, but some of the stories he told, the Darryl Stingley story, the Darryl Stingley story especially was, I didn't know he wasn't even signed when he got hurt.
Wow, that was crazy, right?
Yeah, and the Great Flush. That was the Great Flush when they had the plumbing at old Schaefer Stadium. It was all, of course.
He should have been in the documentary, not me.
You know what he should have been?
Yeah.
He's a Patriots historian.
I'll take it, though.
And I just want to make sure that we give a mention to all of the people that have come on. I think we got everyone, but the more recent ones. And we had some great ones. We had Kevin Flynn on, hilarious.
That story about friggin' Dennis Leary on the Cape doing stand-up.
And how about when Cam Neely and Lyndon Byers wanted to beat the fuck out of him?
Oh my God. Those two large humans, holy shit.
And LB, God rest his soul, we lost him this past year, and
oh yeah,
he was one of the greats. Then we had Jedi, Jared Baker from Maine Cabin Masters. We're going up to Maine. We got to go up and ride snowmobiles across the Canadian border.
Gino, you're a little nervous,
right?
Yeah, I can go on like a Tuesday.
Well, there's snow up there till fucking like May, so we can go up after the hockey season's over.
Yeah, we'll play some snow lacrosse. It'll be fun.
My schedule's
We'll play some Ice Hole.
Yeah,
Have we talked about Ice Hole?
Yeah. Learned a whole new.
We learned a lot that episode. Of course, Billy Jaffe from
Billy.
Nesson.
Yeah.
Yes, he was awesome.
Great insight on the Bruins. Gold medalist Gigi Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
Taped at Lovell Arena. Followed up by Tim Lovell. Talk
Where
about
was that filmed?
At Lovell Arena. You dick. That was like Gino figuring out how to read driving. No, talk about 2 powerhouse episodes in a row. Gino, those were incredible.
Yeah, Timmy was great. It was great catching up with him. He had a lot of good insight on hockey in general, right? Like, yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he we touched on a lot of stuff, with youth hockey and what, I guess the challenges, issues, problems, however you want to put it, are these days. And I also called LeBron James a pussy, and I stand by it.
I hope he knocks you out.
By it. Hey,
I hope you see him randomly someday.
Hey, if he recognizes me from Chirping Zebras, fuck, I'll let him beat me up.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Right?
So because
LeBron
all the
said, "Hey,
shit.
you're the guy from Chirping Zebras. They call me a pussy." I'll be like,
Maybe we should set up one of those like ice boxing things with you and him.
That'd be great. I
Like
just
those ice fights. I'll ref it.
All right. I'll just speed bag his balls.
My favorite thing is after all that shit talking about LeBron James, I know if you were in the room with him for 2 seconds, you'd have him on the podcast.
Oh, I would. I'd get him on. I'd call him a pussy too.
He's a pussy.
I would.
You want to come on the podcast?
I would
I'm the
ask
same
him
way.
right after he beat the fuck out of me. Do you want to come on the podcast? And then, of course, speaking of LeBron, someone commented on because we talked about McDavid and being in the East Coast League back in the day. Someone said, McDavid's so fast, he'd have 160 points and, blah, blah, blah. But my comment to that was, if you put McDavid back in the 70s, he's got to use the equipment they used back then.
Right.
Completely different than now, right?
Heavier sticks, less equipment on the body.
Less equipment on the body. The skates weighed 50 pounds, right? You had a wooden stick with no flex.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of that, you put Bobby Orr in now, or you put, even Lemieux and the technology they had back then. Gretzky, the technology wasn't the same as it is now. Give Gretzky or Bobby Orr or Lemieux a stick that flexes like they do now.
Yeah. Or like the new gloves now, it's like they're so padded and like Tempur-Pedic and stuff. And then back then they just had these dirty leather heavy gloves.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Gino? Wouldn't that make a difference?
I think so. I mean, the equipment does make a difference.
Yeah, there's that clip of McDavid screaming at the trainer that they didn't dry his gloves. You think Bobby Orr was drying his gloves in between periods?
I doubt it.
It's just different.
I doubt it. Well, and that less equipment, like you think about that. Who was it? Kevin Stevens said, another guest, when you hit someone, it hurt. Right? Oh, Ken Hodge said that as well. When you hit someone, it hurt. So, like, that makes a huge difference, especially if you're a smaller guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying McDavid couldn't go back and play. I'm just saying that those kind of things you have to think about, right?
It would take time to adjust to a no curve stick too.
Yep, a curved stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a Don Marcotte stick. It's as straight as you are, Gino. I mean, like, that's a compliment. And there's no flex. It's wood, right? There's no, there's nothing fancy about it. So
probably Victoriaville.
But that's why I said LeBron, you put LeBron back in the 80s, you'd get the fuck beat out of him. And I don't know. I'm just saying. He's still a pussy.
Hopefully a future guest can answer that.
Maybe you're right. We have a couple on the docket that we might be able to get. And I'll reach out to LeBron. I'll reach out to Bron, see what he says.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are nicknamed.
And then, of course, Kyle Binstead from Australia.
Yes.
In the future. But how about Lilo Brancato?
Was great. I couldn't believe we were talking to C.
Yeah, there's another one that just went fucking sideways. We argued about Tom Brady for 40 minutes.
Yeah. No, he said Marino is better than Brady. You can't be saying that shit to 3 Boston kids, right?
Well, when you know Robert De Niro, you get to say it.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
I mean, you think
He
of
was
who he
great.
worked with, right? I mean, Chaz Palminteri, he worked with, James Gandolfini, the whole cast of Sopranos. I mean, he pretty remarkable stuff. And got his life back together, which is
Yeah.
important.
yeah, better than honestly better than anything. The fact that he went through some tough times and came out of it on the other end and is doing great now. So we've had quite the list of guests this past year. I think we covered them all. Episodes 45 right through 92, which the current episode that is dropping today when we air this, but will be out next week, is Bruce Cassidy.
Butch Cassidy.
We mentioned it earlier, but definitely want to check that out. So there's so many episodes out there that you can check out that are all great. So if you're just getting into our podcast, please do so. Check out the past episodes. Actually, someone, our first guest ever, Paul Stewart, episode 2. Which is crazy because it seems like it was yesterday.
It really does.
It really does. He had something online the other day, and in typical Stewie form, it was fantastic. And I commented and said, "Hey, check him out on episode 2 of Chirping Zebras." So, a lot of great stuff. I'm looking through my list. I don't think I missed anyone. I think we got everyone.
No, but you mentioned Bruce Cassidy, and I found that I didn't find the DVD with the penalty shot, but I found the one with Marchand.
Did you? Holy DVD.
Here we go.
Look at that thing. Can you even play that anywhere?
Yeah, I got a PlayStation right here, right in front of me.
No kidding. Well,
It's a
you
little
got to
scratched
get
up, but yeah, it's fucking awesome. But the clip of Marchand getting the shit kicked out of him is on YouTube, so.
All right.
It is.
But like you can see I wonder if I can see the whole, like he scored like that line, like he was filthy. Like they were killing him that game. I remember going, wow, this kid's awesome.
Well, if you can, let's see if we can get that to Josh so we can get that shown to the world.
Well, that clip is up there, but like the whole game is right here. We should do it on like a Monday night.
What's the
That would be
what's the
awesome.
clip under? Is it just like
shit?
Well, we can talk about it.
I have it like saved on my YouTube, one of my channels.
Yeah, that'd be fun to do. Watch one of your games or one of mine even. Although mine are all on VHS, so
But
I'd have
mine
to.
are like, it's amazing how bad the video is, the quality.
Yeah, it's
like
terrible.
Oh, it's like, what are we watching? Ants? Like, do I have to put this on like an old TV to see it?
Ants?
It's absolutely terrible.
I'm like, what the?
Is the quality of video back then, and you watch it after the game, and you're like, holy. Just actually on Monday night, I think Chrissy said something about that when you watch yourself after and you're like, I thought I was skating fast.
Well, yeah, I said that too about Troop.
Yeah.
He was
Jimmy
like,
Troop, our buddy.
He's like, do you even give a shit? I'm like, yeah. I was like, I cared about that game. And he's like, well, your body language said different. I went back and watched and I was like, you weren't shitting.
I just did that like 4 days ago. I went out on the lake near my house. It was frozen. It was glassy. It was nice. And then it snowed the next day, so it's ruined. But I filmed myself skating around. Then I watched it back and I was like, I thought I was flying. I'm barely moving. In my head, I was like,
you look like Mystery Alaska, but in reality, you look like someone pushing crates. And
I looked like friggin' Happy Gilmore.
Well, it's been quite a year, boys.
Yeah.
And, it's been
I'm ready to top it.
It's been a lot of fun, and we got more coming. More great stuff coming, more content, more everything. We got more everything coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely we appreciate you watching and listening and hope you continue to do so. You can check out our website with links to everything. All the social medias, the Instagram, the Facebook, and of course,
TikTok.
Absolutely. And also our online store. We get the merch out there. We got some new merch coming. And this is it's quite a run we've been on, and I'm looking forward to continuing it with you boys.
Steve, me too. I can't wait to Like every single year, it seems like where I'm like, holy shit, this is exactly what we hoped it was gonna do, and I feel like we exceed what we think we can do. So I'm just excited.
100%. And Gino, you're now in the screen because you sat forward, so you must be
Yes.
feeling better.
Well, I'm trying to find something.
You still look a little peaked.
Yeah, it's been fucking brutal the last 3 days. Everybody got COVID again, or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Flu C,
Might be the dengue fever.
whatever
Right?
it is, it sucks.
The what?
Dengue fever. You might have got bit by a bad mosquito. You don't know. They're out there.
One of those Australian mosquitoes.
They're huge, giant, size of hawks. You got to beat them off. Well, you don't beat them off. That's a joke I do. All right. So want to thank our sponsors, Refs Crease, also Damon Financial, and also Townsend Hockey. Want to thank AOA Studios. Want you to remind you to find us on the social medias. Not only Chirping Zebras, you can find Ref Crease on the socials. You can also find Josh Dolan, not Josh Dolan, on the socials. And I'm Mark Riley Comedy on the socials. So give us all a follow. Fuck it. Jump in and keep being a part of
the DMs.
So, slide in the DMs.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I've tried that with a few people, and I never get a response.
Yeah, well.
So,
the numbers game.
Gino, did you find what you were looking for? I
No.
feel like if we close the episode without you finding it, it's like there's no closure.
No, I'm good.
We're ending strong.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for episode 90
for 2025.
For episode 93, the Doug Gilmour episode. Dougie Gilmour, number retired in Maple Leaf Garden, longtime captain of the Maple Leafs. One of the only highlights that team's had in a long time.
Yeah.
So for Gino Bender Jr., for Josh Dolan, I'm Mark Riley. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, although we'll drop another one, I think, on New Year's Day, the way it works out. But happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, right? Whatever
Very
you
good.
celebrate, we're inclusive here at Chirping Zebras. So we'll see you next time right here. This is like a 9th grade date. I don't know how to end it.
Here we go. I'm gonna sack tap a move.